What's up, everyone? Boy, here, welcome back to the old guys who need a nap show.
Yeah,
We Ron and I have been sitting here talking, and I think both of us have been yawning. We actually, to this point, the most consensus point of discussion has been that 3 o'clock is a really good time for a nap. With 3 o'clock my time. Right now it's 4 o'clock out there on the East Coast, three
Oh,
o'clock
yeah,
here Central. So.
definitely. I mean, honestly, it's like around this time of day, it's just like I'm doing everything I can. Now, in past, we've actually tightened up our nutrition and stuff.
Mhm.
But in past, what I've done is I would just pull out a Monster or something like that. But I've really pulled away from a lot of those. I'm really strictly one, maybe two coffees in the
Yeah.
morning, and the rest of the day is just water and element. That's it. So
Okay,
yeah,
I'm not going to ask you to do this, but if you were to stand up and take your shirt off right now, how many abs could we see?
none. You see a
None.
few.
We could see no abs.
You see a few rolls, and that's about it.
Oh man, yeah. No, that's the nutrition days are the nutrition tracking are long gone for me. Now it's just I still try to eat like natural foods,
Yeah.
but yeah, the tracking, nah, long gone.
So it's not really the tracking with us. It
Okay,
was like more the elimination, trying to figure
elimination.
out what it is that causes irritation with our bodies and whatnot.
Hmm.
And for me, it's been really clear that there are some things that cause me to like have almost a weird allergic reaction where I cough continuously.
Oh
At
wow,
first, I thought it was like, oh my gosh, and what am I getting? Adult onset asthma or something like that.
yeah.
But it's more the fact that it's foods that will, like, I'll eat them and immediately I start wheezing or I'll cough continuously and stuff like that. So it has a little bit to do with that. And that was the goal. Jess and I both did it, obviously, for Jess, getting through her thyroid stuff that she
Mhm.
had gotten through before. And for us just going, okay, let's see what it is that's causing these issues. She has a lot of tiredness and that kind of stuff. But I mean, she's doing MFC, she has a regular job and all that. So it's like she's got a lot on her plate. And
Yeah.
sometimes meetings go into the wee hours. So it's like I get fatigue can come from just wearing your body down, and I think also it can come from things that we eat.
Yeah.
But
I
and
know.
well, listen. That being said, let's talk a little bit
Well,
about the
well, hang on.
meals.
You're segueing too quickly here
I'm
because
trying to like
I, I
segue into
I know
something
you're
right
trying
there.
to, but I was gonna tell you, I realized one of the things that was creating um like fatigue and tiredness for me was having to work and not being filthy rich.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's
Yeah.
winning the lotto would be a real big plus. And
You
I
know,
try
it
every
would be
week. I
helpful.
try.
Yeah.
You don't win if you don't play. So I give it a good college try every week. But it's like, yeah, I mean, having a few more bucks would definitely help.
That's the deal. That's the thing is I think most of my problems right now would be solved by winning like a $6 billion lottery.
Yeah,
That
I think for both of us, you'd probably have to share a little bit with me.
and which would be fine. I'd have $6 billion. Like here's the deal. Okay, here's the type of rich person I would be. I like, and it's easy to say this when I have no money, but
Yeah, right.
like I'd be one of those people. Now, here's the deal. I ain't buying you a house, but
Yeah,
I would definitely be one of those people that like I would just be mailing you like cool stuff. Like I'd think of something, I'd see something on like the internet or something. Like, oh, ready? Like, and here's the here's this. I'm not going to send you like a $12 shirt. What happened? And, we'd be talking and be like, man, did you see that Chili Goat came out with a new cold tub? It's actually a cold and a hot tub. Like, oh man, that's awesome. You know what happened? Dude, a Chili Goat cold tub, like cold and hot tub, would show up at your house like the next week. Because I'd be like, dude, I've got $6 billion. What's a couple of $1,000 here?
yeah. Well, of
Like, yeah,
course.
absolutely,
And
man.
it's funny because I was watching something the other day, and it was along those lines of like something like that,
Mhm.
where somebody sent Shaq a Tesla truck.
Yeah, it's just in a truck. Yeah, here's a Tesla.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, listen, I'll take a chili goat over a Tesla any day
Oh, dude.
because listen, that the double one especially,
Oh.
Kyle. Listen, I've seen it. I've never been able to get in it. I know we're going to have one there. It's
Mhm.
not going to be filled with water for the jacuzzi side because it just maintenance of it with a
Mhm.
bunch of sweaty people getting in and out of it
Oh
is
yeah.
a totally different animal. But I mean, just having them there and having that recovery ability because
Yeah. Yes.
it makes me feel like like really good. I'll get in the mornings when I'm sore, and I get out, and it's like either I'm just frozen solid and you don't realize, but I feel so much better. I
Yeah.
really do.
What's the thing? It's the thing that we've talked about with chili goat, and we've heard other people talk about with chili goat too. Is it's like, it's kind of the difference between driving a Ford Fusion for a
Oh
long
yeah,
time,
for
and
sure.
then you hop into a a BMW,
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, they're about the same size. Maybe they kind of look the same. Which, I mean, admittedly, the chili goat looks way better than a lot of the others, but
yeah.
you just get in, and you're like, holy moly! Like, this whole thing is
Mhm.
unreal.
Yeah.
It just in the quality and how nice it is, and like, I
Yeah.
mean, you talked about the rate at which it cools.
Oh, so
Um,
rapid.
yeah,
So rapid.
yeah,
For a matter of
yeah,
fact, I
it's
just
amazing.
left the gym again today, and I'm not gonna say which brand they have, but their cold tub,
Mhm,
um, there was only 4 people in front of me that got in.
mhm,
It started at 46. By the time they went to get in, it was like
mhm.
52, the last person.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and it's like it's unheard of. I got in
Yeah.
this morning. I told Jess, I got in mine this morning. I was like, this thing must be like at 39 degrees. It felt so cold. I was like, gosh, this is like, and I
Oh
get
man,
out and it's 46. And I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah, dude. Anything colder than a nice warm shower is ice cold to me, dude. Man, if I don't get that knob turned all the way to the hot, and I accidentally get in the shower and it's like just under room temperature, oh, I'm miserable.
Yeah, yeah.
Miserable. I'm a big
No,
wuss.
listen,
Oh yeah.
it's a blessing. And I again, I've watched a few guys, and I introduced them. I had the opportunity to introduce them to a few of the really big games athletes, and
Mhm,
one of them being Jeff, and
mhm.
he uses his all the time.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's got the double one. He's got the one with
Oh,
the
there it is. Yep.
whatever, and he got a sauna.
Mhm,
And then not only that, Kevin Kester, our dear friend and Masters athlete, he did for his gym. I think he got two. He got one regular and
yeah.
one with the jacuzzi, and he got a sauna.
Dude, CrossFit Santa is always gonna bring you more than what you need, man.
That guy's he's an amazing individual.
Oh, yeah, man. Dude,
Amazing.
it's so funny. You were talking about the cold tubs at the gym.
Yeah.
You were like, I'm not trying to disparage about it, but I'm not gonna say anything." You know what's funny? You wanna know why you and I are always going to be limited in our number of viewers? Is because we don't just go out there and just blast people.
No,
Is that not, like, the way to get YouTube's like,
I
dude, oh,
guess.
dude,
I
every time I see,
guess.
and listen, I'm not talking about the one person that comes to everyone's mind,
Yeah, yeah,
but just in general, like, it feels like the only way to, like, stand out in this world of a trillion podcasts
yeah,
is to, like, just say something controversial so you
yeah,
can put it online so people will
yeah,
listen to you. And honestly, half the time they don't even mean what they say.
yeah,
It's always like a clip and then they kind of backtrack a little
yeah.
bit. It's always funny.
Well, it's funny because I've been kind of like watching a little bit of our buddy that we're talking about videos and stuff like that, because some of it can have some content
Yeah.
that's interesting, but at the same time it is, and he admits the fact that he does it for hits.
Oh yeah.
That's his goal,
Yeah.
and I guess that's okay, but it's just like then you end up being that person that nobody wants to see and nobody wants to have, and I don't know.
Well, and here's the deal. It's funny. I think the biggest way to catch his attention is to not say his name. We're obviously
Sure.
talking about Hiller, and
Yeah.
that's fine. Whatever. I think it's funny. It just depends on where you stand and who
Yeah.
you know. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of times too, I think he rubs people the wrong way if you wind up knowing some of the people that he's kind of going after.
Oh, yeah.
But then there's times when he goes after people that maybe you are not a huge fan of, or maybe you've
Yeah.
had a problem with it. It's always funny. I've realized that normally most people's reactions to Hiller aren't always based on Hiller himself. It's more based on whether or not they agree with what he's saying at that very
Mhm.
moment.
Right. Yeah, and
And
then listen,
so
he's called out some stuff that was, like, pretty clear, and it's like, "Whoa, man,
yeah.
that was pretty bad."
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And maybe that slipped by, whatever it is. Did you see the one I think I sent you the other day where it was at the
Ball rolling
ball
through.
rolls past the guy as he's doing double, and it almost looks like the lady released it, but I don't think she did.
No,
I
I
think it
don't
was
think she
just
did. And that's the deal. It's because it's one of those things in an environment like that. I mean, this
yeah,
this is kind of the problem with it. it was the CrossFit Games, but
Sure.
it wasn't like it was like in the Madison Arena or something. And
Right.
so like it's not really a controlled. So they've got like the metal railings, like the
Yeah.
cattle guards, and so people are just standing there. And if somebody's standing there holding the ball and they accidentally drop it, it's
Or a kid.
your
'Cause
kid, it's
it's
gonna
masters. There's
roll. And
probably
so the
kids
guy's
there
doing
watching,
yeah, he's doing
whatever.
double unders and the ball's like rolling at him.
Oh my
I bet he
gosh.
saw it. Dude, could you imagine how bad that would have been if he didn't see it, jumped right up on
Yeah,
top of it? Oh
yeah.
man.
But I mean, stuff's gonna happen, right? And
It
I
is.
think
Oh yeah.
all in all, it appeared that the event went really well. I've talked to a few of my buddies that participated. Robbie, my
Yeah.
partner, he
Yeah.
was there. Lon, my partner this year,
Wait,
was
wait,
there.
wait, wait. Robbie was Robbie there watching, or was Robbie
No,
participating?
he competed. He competed, yeah.
That's hilarious. The dude was retired for like 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a games athlete. Then he just retires. He goes lives in Mexico, and then all of a sudden he goes to MFC and has a fun time. Like, let's just be a games athlete again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because he sat and thought about it seriously, and he was going back and forth. And he said, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. And he ended up sliding in 30th place.
Yeah.
And then there was a little bit of, talk between him and somebody else that had just barely made it back in. And that other person got in. Somebody dropped out like in the 26th, 27th area.
Yeah.
Robbie slid down and the other person got in. And it's like, goodness.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's
but
funny.
yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, it's like he's one of these athletes that just is so wily, and he
Mhm.
really is. He's like, I was super impressed because he kind of carried me, like, and he was like, no, bro, I'm not in shape, yada yada yada. Now he's quite a bit younger, but I guess me 9 years ago is a little bit different person than I am today.
I think we all can say that, Ron.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
I get that at work all the time.
oh man. Okay, dude. So talking about all right. So talking about MFC, 2 weeks left until we show up. We've got really it's just over 2 weeks. Today is Wednesday. We usually do these on Thursday, but Ron
Yes.
works tomorrow and then I work Friday. So
Yep.
all right. So one day over 2 weeks. What does your life in terms of getting ready for MFC look like right now?
So training really hasn't changed much. I'm doing a lot less than I've ever done in my life. I go to the gym. I have a couple guys that again, the fire breathers, Wilson and Yannick. I have to clarify that I work out with normally. They just came off of doing a pretty nasty competition. So I went in today and I was like, I'm usually like trying to, do some of the workouts from Invictus because again they're programming, so I figure if I'm staying with the Invictus programming, I'm going to be really close to what's going on. We don't know that yet. Next week they're released, so I'm pretty excited. But those guys will also the guys I work out with will throw out. Like today, we did a big cardio piece, and I'm like, you know what? Cardio is never going to hurt anybody. I'll do cardio, and then we did some core work and stuff like that, and then we called it a day. So honestly, my workouts have really tapered off seriously over the last year. And all I'm really doing is trying to maintain and stay comfortable in what I'm doing without extremely like tearing myself down.
Yeah.
And honestly, I found it enjoyable. The thing is too, is that I'm, if I'm not feeling it that day, I'm like, I'm gonna take the day off. Whereas before I would have been like, no, I need to hit it. You hit it hard.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
but
Dude, are you
it's just
changing with 2 weeks left? Are you changing how you eat?
no, not really. No, trying to just like my biggest problem is I don't eat enough half the time. So it just gets on me. But just trying to stay with healthy decisions. The hardest part of that is usually at work.
Yeah.
Those guys like to have like a lot of red meat, a lot of potatoes, a lot of rice, a lot of beans. So when we have that stuff, I try to subsidize it with like, keeping with the salads, keeping with the things that will keep me healthy and everything moving the way it needs to move. So
Yeah.
but I mean, I feel good. I
Yeah.
do. I realize again that I'm like not in the perfect shape going into it, but it's the teams, and that's the nice part about teams is that you have your partner to rely on too, but at the same time, it's like you have to put out and I think I'm getting close to where I want to be before I get there. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be right in there. There's not gonna be a taper or anything like that. This
Oh
is
yeah.
kind of something that I'm working toward to try and have a good time, enjoy myself with all of the amazing athletes that show up to MFC, all the people that you enjoy seeing
Oh yeah.
at least once a year. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
I've had to ramp up my training. So
Nice.
yesterday I was broadcasting a volleyball game, and volleyball. Thing about broadcasting volleyball is it's kind of slow while the point's not going on, but when the
Yeah.
point goes on, like it just everybody's different with how they call a volleyball game.
Yep.
Me, like I'm trying to call out the action mainly because I don't have a color commentator and our camera angles are a little bit limited, so I try and call out like who's doing what. So that way,
Right.
as you're watching, you're seeing it. And so it's a lot of talking, and it's a lot of
Sure.
talking really, really fast. At
Sure.
the end of the game, and so the thing went, the match went 4 sets, and oh boy, I when I left, I was like, oh, voice is a little bit tired.
Yeah.
So two things with that. One, I've got a game on Thursday, and then I've got like 12 games between Friday and Saturday.
Oh,
So
geez.
here's the deal though, is we're getting prepared for MFC week with the Friday Saturday chunk here.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I'm getting in my preseason training
Good.
or my pre-competition training, and then but luckily I don't have to talk quite as fast with MFC, so that's nice.
Yeah.
And these events that we'll be broadcasting, they won't require me to talk about who had the dig, who had the set, who has the attack and the
Yeah.
kill. So, oh yes,
Yeah, it's all the same movement going on at the same time. So
that's right. That's right. Well, and so it's funny. So you talked about that they're coming out soon. So I'm the one building the graphics for those when they get released on social media. So
all right.
I'm
All right.
excited to send those. And ready. I'm gonna drop the first hint. That has not actually. See, here's the deal. No one's actually told me I can drop this. I'm still gonna drop it. You will be lifting weights. So there you go,
Nice.
Ron. Weights are involved here.
Weights are a good thing. Weights
Weights.
are a good thing.
That's right, man.
Where I am most fearful is when there's excessive running.
Mm,
That's
mm.
where I don't like it.
I
So,
gotcha.
but
Yeah.
weights I'll take.
Oh
Weights are
yeah,
good.
weights. Oh,
Yeah.
you ready? Here's another one. Here's another one. There's also gymnastics. So
Okay.
yeah,
Good.
there you go, man. I mean,
That's
just
not
drop it.
terrible either for me.
Right.
I
Hey,
haven't.
how about 2 hints in one day for everybody? You know.
You're going. That's like Dave Castro, way out of it.
Start sending out pictures of mushrooms and whatnot.
Yeah. That's too funny.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Here you go. So in terms of getting ready, now here's the thing. This is one of those really interesting things. Is coming into NFC this year. We've talked about it a little bit before, but I got to tell you, the amount of involvement that we have from companies that are trying to be a part of the community
Yeah.
is really exciting. So really the first thing that we really wanted to hit on, obviously, if you've ever paid attention to this podcast before, or the first 15 minutes, just me and Ron joking back and forth. Ron tried to jump the gun and segue into this segment earlier. I can't let him do that.
Yeah.
But no, so is like leading up. Now, here's the thing, and this one is for the athlete. So if you're watching, listening, whatever it is, and you're an athlete, if you have not taken a look at your athlete packet yet to get some of the things that are in the athlete packet, the welcome packet, got to make sure that you start looking in that, because there's some interesting things in there that actually haven't been offered before,
Oh yeah.
like Clean Eats.
Yep.
Clean Eats is a company that does healthy food prep in Fort Wayne. So the food, you can pre-order it, and then they will actually make it in Fort Wayne. And so now you'll have to pick it up from the store.
Yes.
Like
In the
you have to go and
location.
pick it up from the store. They've actually extended their store hours. So their store hours are gonna be 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So you'll have time to be able to go and get it from the store. But that way, because dude, you've been in competitions before.
Oh yeah.
Like when
Yep.
you're trying to compete and you're trying to compete at a high level, and all of a sudden you're trying to live off of food that is probably substandard,
Yeah.
just because you weren't prepared for it. That's a hard way to compete.
Oh, it is. And it's the one thing I can tell you when it comes to nutrition, and that, I mean, we were fortunate that we had a nutritionist out there last year, and he was giving a lot of hints for people to follow.
Mhm.
Um, it, it really makes a big difference. If you're well fed and ready to go into a competition in the right amount of time, then it is day and night difference as opposed to if you go into it and you're not like ready to go, right? If your body's not fed, if you're not feeling, content, and if there's any inkling of you needing food, you probably are going to like peter out towards
Oh yeah.
somewhere during the workout. Hopefully not, but that's why it's really important to have a company like them come on board and go, hey, here's a list of meals. Let us know what you need. Again, I would highly recommend these athletes do that, is
Oh
go
yeah.
by, grab what you need for the day,
Mhm.
or have whoever you're with go by and pick up what you need for the day. And I'm sure at the location we'll have a way for them to heat it up and everything
Mhm.
like that. But their
Yeah.
their meals are fantastic. When we were out there last year, I think Jess and I kind of checked around, and she's been on it.
Oh yeah, man. Oh
He's
yeah.
he's doing such a phenomenal job. Every time I get done, I'm just like, I can't. I just can't give her enough kudos for what she's
Oh yeah.
done, because
Oh yeah.
her having you guys and everybody doing their part is really. I'm excited to see how this year turns out. So
Oh yeah, such a yeah. All the organization has been so cool, and seeing all that. I can tell you, it's funny. You were talking about like throughout a weekend, dude. When I went to Strength in Depth in 2020, so one
mhm.
of the things I knew someone who competed in 2019, and they told me, they said, "Hey, food around there is pretty scarce. Make sure that you take food to prepare and be ready."
Yeah,
Dude, okay, so I was so in over my head when I go out there by myself. I've got no idea what I'm doing. It's the first
yeah,
like I had been to Legends in 2019. Legends was the first like big one that I had done. And
yeah,
then all of a sudden I'm on a plane going to London.
yeah.
I'm out there by myself. I think I've told the story of the murder house Airbnb that I stayed in on this before. Airbnb for $15. Like
Yeah,
literally the first Airbnb I've ever stayed in. I was like, oh, $15. Yeah, that makes sense. Rent a
yeah.
room. Yeah. No, I've almost died.
Not
But
good.
so I go over there okay. So first off, I don't know if you've never been to London. London is not known for its food,
No,
first of all.
no, they're
It's
definitely not.
amazing. They don't really know what seasonings are, which
Yeah,
is interesting.
yeah,
And so, but also, like I told you, I'm in this area that, like, here I'm not gonna say in America, but where I live,
yeah,
when there's a lot of houses, there's usually some food around. Problem is,
yeah.
that's not how it necessarily works.
No,
At least in the
no.
area that I was in London,
There's
ton of houses.
areas that
Yeah.
have food,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
there's areas that have living, and
Oh,
they're
right.
very, very seldom
Oh, yeah.
combined. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing down there just to swing
Mhm.
by and grab. It's
No.
in this giant convention center, massive convention center. It's got 2 train stops in one convention center, if that
Sure.
tells you how long this thing is. But here's the deal, is, like, the best possible option for food that I had was, like, a Subway.
Yeah.
And I think we all know that that's not exactly a good option.
No.
Oh, dude, it was you wanna talk about a weekend of just upside down, no idea what I'm doing. I mean,
Yeah.
it was so funny. I was kind of chuckling because so some of the guys, James St. Leger and Louis McMaster, they were both in Alabama a couple weekends ago doing the games, and I was just laughing because I'm competing against those guys, and I went in. I had qualified second in our division.
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
oh yeah, man. And so it's me and James St. Leger, 1 and 2, and he's a games athlete, and he's just a stud. And dude, the first day I competed, and then I just got it handed to me over and over and over again. And so it was really funny watching. Fun. It was enjoyable watching Louis and James. Unfortunately, Louis had to pull out because of a back injury, but watching those guys
Yeah.
reliving those days, I'll tell you this much: physically, Louis and James have gone in a different direction than Kyle has. Obviously they're at the games, but no, yeah, food was the food thing is. I always chuckle at the food thing because it's for me, it was always an overlook. It's like, oh yeah, there'll be food there. I'll grab some food or whatever.
Yeah. No.
No, 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 no.
You can't
So
play that game. That's
no.
like, again, being at the games multiple times, I was fortunate because there were companies that I was with at the time that would provide food for you, and they would actually bring food to your hotel.
Mhm.
That was the amazing part. If they knew a certain amount of athletes were there, they would end up stopping in, and they had all these prep meals ready to go and
Oh yeah.
drop off for you.
Oh yeah.
But it's having that available for these athletes is a big, big,
Oh yeah.
big plus. Now, that being said, there are some amazing restaurants around around Fort
Yeah,
Wayne. I mean,
you guys always have some that you like to go to. What is it? Because Jess always tells me about these. What are the restaurants y'all love going to?
okay, so I'm not gonna be able to remember names off the top of my head. So this is
Okay, that
where I'm
works.
terrible. Like
Okay.
I'm the hey dude, what's up? And that's how I know you know I think I know your name. But it's like but no, just like there are a few there where we have had just like amazing meals. And I think in the athlete book there may be a listing of some of those. There's the Hoppy Gnome.
The Hoppy Gnome. Oh,
Hoppy
that's a
Gnome's
popular
very
spot with
good.
the Hoppy Gnome, man.
Yep. Gosh, what's the one near the baseball stadium there too? It's that's a little higher end, a little more pricey, but amazing food. I mean,
Yeah.
amazing food. So,
Well, because I was gonna that's the thing is I was gonna bring up what's the place on the what's the place that's right on the river there?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's another one. So we haven't been there. That's more of a steakhouse, isn't it, or something like that,
I
or no?
think so.
Yeah, I've we wanted to go last year, and it's just we didn't have the opportunity. And then there were so many of the other ones that we really love and enjoy that we go to as a regular. There's one spot for breakfast. It's just south of the convention center where we had the games in the not the games the MFC in 2020,
Uh-huh.
and that place is amazing. They have the most amazing like breakfast tacos and just really good food. And again, I know all these places, but I don't know the names, so you're gonna have to bear with me.
Oh yeah, well, and I think yeah, that's the funny thing is maybe next week. You know what? Maybe what we do next week, buddy, is how about we? Because I was scrolling through, and I'm kind of like you. Like I kind of show up. Everybody's like, "Hey, we're going here," and I just kind of show up there
Sure.
and just kind of tell somebody like, "Hey, what's good?" I don't
Yeah.
look at menus. I just kind of show up and go for it. So
Yeah.
maybe next week what we do is we get somebody on who like really knows all the restaurants in the area. That would be
I
good.
will do my research. Actually,
Yeah, I mean,
Jess
because
is going to be, she's going to watch this and go, what the heck? You
oh, I
don't
know.
know
Hey,
these
because here, this
places?
is my favorite part, and like this is the type of quality that people have come to expect from us, Ron. Is I can guarantee you that anyone who's listened to this before is laughing at us because they're like, this is like classic Ron and Kyle of like they really are passionate, but they have no idea what the names of these restaurants are.
I'm trying to look it up as we're talking right now because I don't want to seem like a complete idiot. But okay,
Oh
let's do
man,
real fast. Oh, the Copper Spoon is one.
yeah, the copper spoon's really good.
That's the one over by the Hoppy Gnome.
Yeah.
Definitely. Talon.
Okay.
Talon.
Yeah.
Tolon.
Tolan,
Talon.
Tolan, Talone.
Talon.
I don't
Talon.
know.
And then the old Gas House restaurant is the one you're talking about. I think that's the one on the river.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's a
dude.
great place.
Yeah.
And then again, the Copper Spoon is just incredible food.
Hmm.
The Arbor is another really, really good. And these are all like, again, on a scale of like 5, these are all 4.6s, all
Yeah.
these places. And the thing that we found when we went and then also visit Fort Wayne was really helpful with us initially, since Jess has been like connected with them, is they are really great at like letting you and introducing us to these local establishments so we can get involved this and stuff. So
Oh gosh, yes.
yeah, but
Absolutely.
yeah,
Well,
there's some cool. That's a cool town.
oh
Fort
yeah.
Wayne's a really cool place, and it's grown so much. There's like the um, General Electric area, I think is
Well,
that's
that's what. So I was gonna say they've got two really cool areas. I'm gonna say two because I only know of the two. I'm sure they've got more, but they've got well, no, they've got three. What's the third? I'm gonna think of the third in a minute. But they've got two really cool areas. One of them is the General Electric. I think they call it Electric Works.
yeah,
It's the
Electric
old
Works.
General Electric
Yeah,
and so we made a video there. So if you go back in like our Instagram and our videos on YouTube, kind of made a video kind of showing you. It's kind of one of these places that there's a bunch of restaurants and but like it's like standalone shops and then they
yeah,
have a bunch of tables and
yep,
there's bars and it's just a cool. It's the old General Electric factory.
yeah.
Electric, dude. Everything today, I've had a hard time saying my R's for some reason. Every time electric. And it's one of the old factories, and they had this huge like multi building factories in the area,
Yeah,
and they've kind of revamped it. It's awesome.
Yeah,
And then
it's
they've got the
amazing.
landing. The
Yep,
landing is really actually I think landing is what I'm thinking about. So two, the landing is another one of those places where there's a lot of food around,
yep,
but it's also just kind of a relaxation area. There's
yep.
kind of one of those what do they call them where it's like businesses on the bottom and then up above it is there's the apartments and everything.
Yeah, that would
Um,
be, businesses on the bottom with apartment buildings on top. That's exactly that would be
that's
that would be the conversion for Ron. He
that's
would
right. That's it. That's it. But yeah, and so I mean those are cool places. So I'm really looking forward to that.
yeah,
I don't know, obviously with what I do with all the broadcast stuff, I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to be there like during the week. But
yeah,
I always have fun like walking around and going to these places and
yeah,
like seeing all the athletes that are eating dinner at these places,
yeah.
and just kind of catching up with them because really, at the event that's always fun. At the venue, it's always fun.
Oh, it's
But
amazing,
I
yeah.
have more fun like running into people somewhere else,
Yeah,
and interacting with them there.
yeah, for sure. I mean, again, we're so fortunate that we've been able to do this the last few years, and to see where it's come from. It's very humble beginnings, and to see what is been able to be put together now, and then to, like you were talking about, all of these large companies coming in and wanting to like be a part of what we're doing. Again, Chili Goat, we have the meals, and
Mhm,
then we
mhm.
have Rad Shoes coming on this year too, which is
Oh, dude.
super exciting. And I was telling Kyle, I was like, I'm super excited. I'm like, I'm gonna order a pair and blah 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 blah. They are sold out. So you guys getting Rad Shoes at this event is going to be a real treat. A
Dude,
real
do
treat.
do you know how many people I have heard that are incredibly excited about getting rad
Oh,
shoes?
oh yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
man.
Me
Oh,
included.
yeah.
Really, because it's like I really did. I was trying very hard to get a
Oh, yeah.
pair, and it was like they're sold out of size 12. I guess it's a pretty popular size, but no,
Dude, you're 6'3". I can't imagine size 12 is a popular size.
well, you'd be surprised, man. It's like crazy because people like will teeter. My uncle always had a funny saying. He goes,
Yeah.
"Yeah, yeah, I wear a size 12, but a 13 fits me better, so I wear a 13 and a half." So it's like,
Oh, man. No,
yeah,
so that'll be and I'm excited I'm excited for those. See those and kinda see everybody, they're gonna be there with their van and everything, and
yeah,
I think that's gonna be an exciting thing because now here's the deal, correct me if I'm wrong.
yeah,
You have done this at a much higher level than I have.
yes,
But I I've never been to a competition, even with some of the moderately large ones that I've been to. I've never been to a competition that gave me shoes.
right. Only the
Um,
games. Only the game. Well,
Only the
that's not
games?
true. Games in Wadapalooza.
Okay.
Wadapalooza this last year, they actually provided us with shoes,
Mhm.
but like one pair, like we're getting. But these are like these trainers are like amazing. There's
Yeah.
somebody at the gym that has a pair that they just rave about them, and I'm
Oh,
like
yeah.
super jealous, and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get my pair.
Well, and so okay, so there's rad that
Yep.
that's incredible,
Yep.
and then also virus, okay,
Yes.
which is interesting because virus. Okay, here's the deal: virus for a long time was like the thing, and
Mhm.
then there was a while where, and this may just be my own deal, where it was like they kind of were in the background. I think
Right.
maybe when there was the
Yeah.
surge of everybody was starting to make shirts and clothes and all this, and
Mhm.
man, virus kind of coming out with a vengeance here with MFC and providing us with so many things.
Yeah.
Like it's really funny. I keep going to. We talked about last week. We talked about the virus store with all the MFC stuff,
Yes.
and I keep going back to the store, and I
How
have
much
to
do you have
like,
in your cart now?
no, dude, stop it. Like I have to like close the phone because I'm like, no, 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 this is not a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, oh yeah, because here's the thing: is I will buy. It's not just because it's not just shirts. Like those are the types of stuff that like you can wear like when you're working out, or you can just wear.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like this is bad for Kyle.
Yeah, I'm the I and again we had talked before, and I was really fortunate because I was kind of connected with Virus for a while, but I would go on regularly and just buy like compression shorts, compression pants, their sweatpants. Their sweatpants, I mean, I love them. I think I have like every color from a little while back,
Mhm,
but I mean, the quality of their stuff, and some of this stuff is going back like 8, 10 years, and I
mhm.
still have this stuff.
Oh man.
Granted, I don't have to wear winter stuff very often, so I'm wearing it, maybe half the time, but their stuff is still really good shape.
Oh
And
yeah.
and it's crazy the quality that they have. I was super excited to learn that they were coming out, and it was funny because Jess was like a little kid when she called me. I was at work and she's like, "You're not going to believe this. Are you sitting down?" I was like, "Yes." And she like told me the whole story about how they came on board in, just like you said, with a vengeance. And I'm like super excited to have them because I know the quality of what they do.
Mhm.
I love having a company like that behind us. And I'm super excited that they've come on to partner with us this year.
Oh gosh, yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. So here's the one. Here's another tidbit for the athlete. So I don't know if you guys saw or not. I know a lot of you saw it. I don't know how many of you saw it though. But on the Instagram and on Facebook, we released the daily schedule. So it's not the detailed schedule, but it's the daily schedule, kind of letting you know when things start.
Yep.
But you also saw something new on there. You saw the athlete briefings. Now,
Yes.
that's not new for CrossFit. It is
Mhm.
new in the way that we're doing it at MFC.
Yes.
You know, last year they did the Zoom call, and they've done the Zoom call for a couple of years now, trying to lead up to it. Oh my gosh. Listening to the stories about the
Yeah.
Zoom calls is hilarious.
Yeah.
And
It's not uncommon. I have to
yeah,
tell you, and I don't know whether it's predominantly with us as masters athletes. I know in the past I've known people at the open level, and these guys complain about the same thing because you'll have one or two people that like,
yep,
what happens if the lightning hits and we're running inside and the wind comes across and causes me to slip. It's like,
dude.
okay, well, guess what?
Oh, dude.
You're gonna have to deal with it. So, but
Well,
the
and
question,
that's the funny thing. So, and unfortunately, it's not just the Zoom. That happens with everything. And so, I think now what they're that we're going to do it live, and I think live because it kind of gives the judges a little bit better time to control stuff. But
oh, sure.
yeah, oh, dude, but
Mute.
oh yeah, dude, all athlete briefings
Yeah.
absolutely are like that. There's one of those things where it's informative and then it's funny for about 5 minutes, and then after that, like most of the people are just like, "Oh my god, why am I still here?"
Yes. Yes. And again, I think so there's been a couple times I was at the games. And I have to tell you. So we for a long time were not separated during briefings from the other athletes,
Okay.
right? And then they made it, yes, the masters are going to be separated, which was a big plus for them because even in that separation, you're talking about what, 35 to 39, all the way up to like 65 plus.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's like, are you looking at the same? Because this seems pretty clear what it is that we're required to do. I don't understand where this question is coming from, but it can happen. There are things, granted, there are some questions too that have been really clarifying. I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't think
Yeah.
about that.
Oh gosh, yes.
So there are things that that people can ask, but I would say when the workouts come out, write down your questions and have a list of maybe 3 questions that we can answer. And if somebody else answers a question, scratch it off your list.
Don't
You
ask
don't
it.
need to
Oh
ask
my
it again.
gosh, is
You
that
don't
not
need to
the
ask
worst?
it 10 times because it's not going to get answered any differently and or make
Oh,
you look any more intelligent.
that's right.
So yeah,
When
those
you
are the things that if I could give any advice, and that's dead serious, have a list of questions you have per workout and
oh,
try to limit that question. Go to your coach in the gym and go, what do you think they're needing to hear before
yeah.
you come to MFC, to those, briefings and throw out 72 questions that are unnecessary.
I love it because so you
Oh
talk
my
about
God.
so yeah, repeat question. Oh, repeat questions are the worst.
Yeah.
And then but I love okay, I love questions that are follow-ups to
To
silly
somebody
questions.
else's question. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
somebody else asks a question that,
Yeah.
like you said, it's like, dude, if we have a hurricane in Fort Wayne,
Yeah.
we'll deal with torrential downpours
Correct.
on whatever event when we get
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, so that question is out of the way, but then somebody asks a follow-up to that question, and it's like, what? Like,
Yeah.
oh, it cracks me up. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Absolutely love it.
listen, I guess we get excited about things as athletes and maybe as masters athletes. I'm gonna kind of like, but I think people will get excited and maybe not hear the answer,
Yeah.
or they're still so concentrated on the question they're going to ask, regardless of what the answer was 2 seconds ago, they're going to ask something similar that deviates a little bit to one side or the other, and they figure
Yeah.
that's an okay question.
Yeah.
And it's not. You have to realize the guys that are doing the answers to the questions, these people, and I'm speaking to the crowd and not really Kyle, because Kyle understands. when they're doing the briefing, they have a time frame. They want to get you
Oh yeah.
out and ready to go to bed or whatever has to be done.
Yeah.
So keep the questions to a limitation. Write the questions down prior to going. If it's any more than 5 questions, I'm going to ask you to please scratch out 2 of them because I guarantee somebody else is going to ask those questions. And if it's already been answered, try to follow up with the person that they got it answered by, whatever it is. So,
I,
but Kyle, I feel you guys. I
I will.
feel you guys. I've been through it.
I'll say this. Look, and I'm gonna bring the microphone really close to my face
Uh-oh.
because I need you guys to hear this. I am not answering workout questions on the release posts. So don't ask me your questions because I'm not going to answer them.
Yeah.
So yes, that's
I mean, I'm serious. Tell them, write down 3 questions, period. Bring them with you. And when we have the briefing, you can ask the question.
I'm going to put on the post. So here's the ready. So on the post, on the caption for the post, I'm going to put the post and I'm going to put the workout. And then literally underneath that, I'm going to put questions will be answered at athlete briefing. Right.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to get, it'll be funny to see how many questions that I still get
Oh my gosh.
I say it's not me.
Yeah.
It's MFC.
Yeah.
It'll be funny to see how many questions actually
Oh
pop
my
up.
gosh. Yeah.
So.
And I would actually maybe put in there like legitimate questions will be answered at the athlete briefing.
That's so bad. That's so bad.
Legitimate. Like
legitimate.
Don't ask me about possibilities of something happening.
So
a comet coming down from heaven and destroying. Are we still going to be responsible to do 10 toes of bar? No,
dude. I always, yeah. What if the rig collapses? Yeah. I always have to fight myself because I find myself with the MFC page at times. Like there are moments when I want to make it like a meme page. Like I think of a funny video to make.
Yeah.
Like, like a ridiculous athlete briefing or something. I'm like, no. This is professional. Let's not be,
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, we set ourselves up, right? It's like, it's one of those things. I'm going to leave it at that.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get myself in trouble.
I'm not gonna go that far into it. We'll see how it goes. And I'll be there and I'll try to go, timeout. Let's answer legitimate, like intelligent questions that really pertain to what needs to be asked.
Here's the funny thing, like with you, like knowing who's going to be in charge of the athlete briefing, that very well may come from the microphone.
Oh, sure.
Man. I mean, when you start talking about like Shay and Jamie and Jess, like that's, obviously I want them to run smoothly, but there's kind of one, maybe I'll put you up to it. I need someone to ask a ridiculous question. So that way, maybe we can see what the initial response. So very first workout, they're covering it. I need you to raise your hand. And I really do. Like, I need you to ask some question about what happens if the floor starts flooding from a water main break in the middle of my whatever round. Like, I need to ask that question to see what the initial response is to you.
I will laugh. If they know it's from me, they're going to realize it's a hoax because I've already expressed like extreme clarity with Jess and these guys how I feel about those briefings, because again, some of them gone on so long, and it's almost comical because we talked about a little bit is the fact that like I've been in one where Boz and like one of the other guys from CrossFit answering questions are like, all right, timeout. We're done. That's it. No more questions. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck. Because it's just like you're beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Which admittedly, beating a live horse, not exactly good either.
No. Yeah. That's how you get kicked.
Don't beat horses, people. Stop beating horses, alive or dead.
Yes, because you may end up dead.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm super excited though. Even for the athlete briefing, I'm really going to be excited because again, the people that I know that are going to be there, we're going to fellowship, we're going to have fun. It's going to be a great weekend. So yeah.
And so here you go. So I want to close with this. Athletes, make sure that you're taking a look at your athlete welcome packet. If you for some reason don't have that, we've had some people that didn't get it for whatever reasons, whether it got sent to their junk, whether something happened. email athlete@mastersfitnesscollective.com. Let them know that you didn't get that so they can get it to you. They're fairly responsive. Please know that it's not full-time jobs though. So,
Yeah.
give them a little bit of grace period, and they'll get that to you. But in there, like we said, man, there's hotels. There's a lot of hotels that are working
Yes.
with us, and they're fantastic. Some of
Yep.
them actually, the Hilton has been posting on our page, well, not on our page, but they've been posting about us,
Yeah.
because they're excited to have us there too. And I think that's one of the things, Ron, and I meant to talk about this earlier, but I think it's really important to support the people that are trying to be involved with us, because
Yes.
that's how we get more involvement. So you talk about
Yes.
Clean Eats, like, dude, maybe the way that Clean Eats starts delivering to our hotel rooms is we just flood them with business now. And so the
Yep.
next year when you come back,
Yes.
they kick it up a notch. And
Yep.
the hotels, man, we flood the hotels, which we've done a great job of. And I think that's why we're seeing so many of the hotels being involved with us.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, man,
I agree.
flooding them with
I agree.
business.
There's some great places there. There's great resources around. And I mean, again, with the Clean Eats, I would highly recommend that you guys start putting those things in now, because I would imagine there will be people that go there and go, "Hey, I didn't have time to order. Can I get this, this, and this?" And they may just run out of stuff.
Oh
So
yeah, you just run out. Yeah.
yeah, make
Well,
sure
that's
you
what,
have your orders in.
oh yeah, well, because that's what I always chuckle, dude. Like I work with, when I'm not doing my broadcasting stuff, I work with college students. I say the only people who procrastinate more than college students are CrossFitters.
Oh, for sure. For sure. You know why? Because we always think we can make up the time.
That's right, man. That's right.
You got it.
So
You got it. We'll hang back. I'm going to save a little bit of energy, and I don't have to worry about it until I get there.
until I get
And
there,
then,
and then I'm gonna do
and
all
then
the things.
everybody's doing the same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Oh gosh. Hey, also, hey, athletes, make sure you are signing up for your media packages. So
yes.
we're gonna be
Oh,
taking
yeah.
pictures at the event. Like, so MFC will be taking pictures at the event.
Yep.
We're gonna have our own photographers doing their stuff. But if
Yep.
you are wanting like the individual athlete package, like you had, last year and previous years,
Yep.
Hercules Media is taking care of that. Make sure you go on. The link is in your packet, or you
Yep.
can, reach out to them and get signed up to just to make sure that you have that stuff. Really awesome stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think
Um,
so correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they do like a wristband or something like that so that these guys are identifiable. They know exactly who it is that they're going to be taking pictures of and stuff too, right?
Admittedly, I don't want to speak for Hercules. I don't know exactly how they do it.
Yep.
But here's the deal: is they do this at a lot of different websites,
Yes.
or not websites, excuse me, a lot of different competitions.
Competitions.
So they know how to identify you. I would assume a wristband. I don't know
Yeah.
though. Maybe they are just savants with
Yeah.
faces, and they
Well,
just walk around and remember 1,200 faces.
yeah. I can only imagine. So just because of the way my brain works, I start thinking, oh my God, how many pictures is that to go through?
Oh, dude. Can you
It's
imagine?
amazing.
Oh, when I go to events and take pictures, I mean, because you can take thousands of pictures for
Yes.
one event, much
Yes.
less all these others. And then to go through, and because like if I'm taking pictures of you doing a workout, like I can take a whole bunch of pictures of you in one workout, all doing the same movement. Like I'll do that like with my social media posts. I'm like, oh my God, I've got 12 pictures of Ron doing a toe to bar.
Yeah.
Like, which one do I use?
Yeah.
And oh
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah. I
those
know,
people, they
man. I can
amaze me.
listen, and again, I'm going to date myself way back, but I still remember the click, 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 or even the automatic ones where they had to take a
Oh yeah.
roll out and put a roll back in,
Oh
or
yeah, man.
even the bigger small cards that they used to have to put in to do. Unbelievable the
Oh
amount
yeah,
of
dude.
photos they can fit onto one of those cards, but it's fortunate for these athletes because they'll get some amazing pictures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Let me ask you this. So when you were first starting your competitive career,
yes,
how difficult was it when you were in the middle of a movement and the photographer told you had to stand still for 30 minutes so the exposure would go
yeah,
before
right.
they could put the slide back in? Like,
You have it totally wrong. It was a guy chipping out with a hammer.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
No, no,
Oh, all right.
it's
Well,
definitely changed, and we're fortunate to have those guys
oh
there.
gosh, yes.
We're extremely excited to have our media team because, I mean, again, we have amazing people coming to support. So,
Oh yeah.
look forward to seeing everybody, man.
Oh gosh, yes, man. Well, guys, 2 weeks and 1 day out.
Yep.
We're gonna have our final. I say final. We haven't really decided what we're gonna do the week of, but
Yeah.
next week will be the final, like planned out show.
Yeah.
So you're gonna look for that too, and then
Well, we
in
have
2 weeks.
the workouts already announced too, so we can talk about those a little bit.
Mm, If only we knew the person who was in charge of the social media account and see
Yeah.
when he was gonna release those. We
Well,
may have to try to make sure those get out earlier.
huh, try and
So
pry him out of his fingers.
that's right. Well, that sounds yeah, absolutely. Maybe we'll have a couple released. I don't know. So that'll be this. See, this is fun, guys. I'm in a awesome position of power because I know the workout and Ron
Okay,
doesn't,
Dave.
and so this
Okay,
is
Dave Castro.
exciting. Yeah, like yeah, I'm Castro here. Like I know the workouts, and so like I can just hang this stuff over Ron's head. Like this is so much fun. So because normally to hang things over Ron's head, I have to climb up to a ladder.
Yeah.
But
Listen, I'm excited regardless because like I said, I got Lon who's going to
oh yeah, dude.
carry me. I brought an extra weight belt for him because his back's going to be loaded.
Loaded.
He's
Oh my gosh.
carrying my big butt around for
Oh yeah.
3 days. So,
Oh yeah. Well,
but super excited.
all
Super,
right,
super duper.
Ron, thanks, dude.
Love you, buddy.
Enjoyed it. We will be back next week. Hey,
Yes.
maybe we'll even release one of these on the podcast.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Which
That's
one?
exciting.
Which one though? You
I I know, man. Which
one.
you know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to do the most fun one. So I'm gonna have to do some looking and
Okay.
figure out which one do I think is the most fun to talk about. So
Something was sleeping in it. Maybe.
something with sleeping. Event 14, sleep
Yeah.
time. So, well, all right, guys. I will see you later. We'll catch you next week. Enjoy your training. Good luck. Hey, get on your photo packages. Get on your clean eats. Get on getting your hotel room because
Yeah.
it's not
So,
fun to sleep in the back
gosh,
of
if
your
you haven't
car.
done that already, oh, there is a campground outside this.
That's right. Sleeping in the back of a rental car during a
Oh,
CrossFit
yeah.
competition probably not beneficial.
No.
So, all right, guys, y'all have a great week.